Hey guys, welcome back to rhrjen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for what? Nothing to see here, just a typical Monday for me. Okay, let's talk. If you missed it yesterday, I really went hard into all the shenanigans Meghan pulled at the time of the recording in Paris. Well, more stuff has come out. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the look. What? This is just what I wear. Nothing weird. And I want to talk about so much more. If you're new here, I'm Jen. I'm sorry, I'm Obi-Wan Genobi. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Now let's get into this, shall we? So in case you've been living under a rock or missed it, Meghan showed up to Paris Fashion Week in this. So, you know, again, thank you, Kinsey Schofield, for the inspo here. She wore, I can't remember what hers was, but it gave me the inspo to also try this look, which mine is 20-year-old bathrobe that I put on when I do face masks or like makeup stuff. So it comes pre-bronzed for me. So I'm all set. But that's not all. Hold on, so here she is with her clutch. Don't worry, I've got that too. I've got my clutch, and by clutch I mean an old makeup bag that I've just attached an earring to. And then let's see, she's got, who could forget the shoes, the feet up, right? Well, hello. Me too. I did the same thing, except for I decided to represent the UK and wear my barber. I hope I'm saying that right. My wellies. So here are my wellies with my fancy outfit. Don't worry, I have running shorts on. My robe is on backwards. I'm sorry, not robe. My fancy gown is on backwards and belted weirdly. Again, apparently same here. Hers is reported to have cost upwards of $10,000. Mine was closer to $10 for all this. Now, I will point out, while I will never, ever own any Balenciaga because, they're disgusting, these are actually Givenchy. And if you're like, wait, what's Givenchy? That's who Meghan wore as her wedding dress designer. And that one-shouldered gown that she wore where she just couldn't stop doing this. Yeah, Givenchy as well. Now, the difference is I did not pay 6 figures for mine. I got mine from Macy's. So if you want cheap Givenchy, you can find it there. But I just thought they were cool and sparkly, and I got them a long time ago. So there's that. But it is funny. It kind of looks like the earrings that Meghan is wearing here. I started looking. I was like, oh, God. Don't do that. Anyway, what do we think of the look? I like the pre-bronzed look. I thought that was really fun. And the Gosling helped me to pick this stuff out. And she thinks I look great. So obviously I'm on the right track. Anyway, so let's talk. Okay, I gotta. I'm gonna take a little break from this for a minute and talk the ridiculous. Oh yeah, this is the black dress she wore, and by that I mean it's just a black tank top and running shorts that I had. But in honor of that ridiculous look, I gotta take this down. I can't. She wore her hair back so tight. When you have 50 pounds of hair like I do, that's not a thing. So I just pinned mine up. So here we go. Much better. Okay. It's a little bit messy, but maybe that's more Meghan-like. There we go. All right, let's talk. So I've been cracking up over that. Again, shout out to Kinsey Schofield for the inspo on that. And I know other Megxiters, I believe Brittany over at Royal News Network and others have done likewise. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, there's my contribution. If you want to send me a picture of yourself in your finest robes, fanciest outfit like that, feel free. I'm rhrcomments@gmail.com. Feel free. And I'll try to take a look at that. But anyway, let's get into what I actually want to talk about today. And that is more of the madness coming out from this Paris fashion disaster and this article that I found from Daily Mail because it's pretty funny. So let's take a look. Here we go. So Meghan's surprise appearance. Now, let's talk about this. Lots of stuff going on. Meghan is ridiculed for her Zoolander walk and boasting about return to shows after 10 years. So the reason that they're talking about the return to show after 10 years is because that's what her people have been putting out there to let everybody know she's back. No. they looked into it, and no disrespect to my Canadian geese, some of my favorite people in the world are from Canada. Hello, eh? But they're talking about a fashion show she went to. I believe was it Toronto? I think so. Something like that. Again, no disrespect to my Canadian geese, not knocking that, but it's not Paris Fashion Week, you know? So, I just think that's funny that she's hoping people won't fact check things like that. I think that's interesting. But they talk about her Zoolander walk. Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, did I show you the shoes? I did show you shoes. Okay. They talk about her Zoolander walk. Now I'm second guessing. I showed you the shoes, right? I've had to film this twice because I had technical difficulties. In case I didn't show you, here is my nod to Catherine, Princess of Wales, in my Barber wellies. Those are courtesy of my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. I love them. I just love these wellies so much. So there's that. And I was trying to find a place to put my feet up. So I thought, well, what's a weird place? I'll put them up in my fireplace. But like I think I mentioned before, don't worry, I have running shorts on. So nothing to see here. Anyway, excuse the mess, filming stuff. There you go. All right. Now, let's get back into Meghan. So they talk about her walk. I would like to show you her walk. Shall we take a look? Yes, I believe we shall. Here you go. All right. So this is from her own Instagram. And people are pointing out, and I talked about this too. It's like she thought she was the model there. It was all so serious. It cut away too quick there, but I'll show it to you again. Just very serious, the walk, and just I mean, it really is. It's like ridiculous. Flanked by security. She's in white. They're in the dark colors. So, and I explained in yesterday's video that all the flashing you see, her camp is trying to make it seem like it's for her, but reports have come out since no, no, no. This is just a very famous hotel. They knew that a lot of the models and designers and people, important people would be staying, celebs and stuff. Important people, listen to me. You know what I mean? Celebs and stuff would be staying there. So they had this red carpet ready to go and photographers. So don't let them fool you and think it was specifically for Meghan. It was not, from my understanding. The other thing that I keep hearing rumblings of, okay, I like to give credit where credit's due, and now I cannot remember for the life of me who was talking about this. I believe it was Lost Beyond Pluto. So I never try to watch people beforehand because I don't ever want to take anybody's ideas. So but somebody told me about it, and I believe they said it was Lost Beyond Pluto, so I'm going to give them a shout out. I haven't actually watched it myself, but they had the theory that she was trying to get in Devil Wears Prada too. Now, I can talk about this. I read Devil Wears Prada, and I love the first book. I've actually read it a couple of times. It's light, it's silly. If you just want a fun, read like that, that's a good book. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's silly, but it's cute, right? I enjoyed that. And I did enjoy the movie. I enjoyed the book better, but the movie was great because I love Emily Blunt. Anyway, the second book. What were you thinking, author? I can't remember her name. Is that I'll get the author's name. Oh gosh. Was it Lauren Weisberger? No. Hold on. This is gonna bug me. I gotta look. Hold on. Who wrote Devil Wears Prada? Lauren Weisberger. Okay, I was right. How about that? All right. Sorry. It bugs me not to give credit. Anyway, so Lauren Weisberger wrote the book. I read the first one. I tried to read the second one. It was sorry, Lauren. I like your writing. I was complete garbage. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't even I don't even think I made it to half. I was like, what is this? It's like somebody else wrote it. I don't know. It was written much, much later, and it was just awful. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Where was I going with this? Oh, but supposedly they're filming the second one in the area. So the rumblings, the rumors, whatever are allegedly that Meghan was trying to be seen in that. Now, okay. That's not how that works. Again, I'm nobody. I'm nothing. It doesn't even matter. I've had small, teeny things to do with a couple of movies. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say the movies. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, I know from experience that they don't just film people unless the rules are different in France, but in America, they couldn't just film me. I had to sign papers. I got paid for it. It was just this whole thing. There are union rules. It's just this whole thing. So, I don't think I mean, and I've heard of where, like, celebrities, like, are in an area, and so, yeah, they agree to do a movie. I know that that can happen, but they don't just typically, from my understanding, just turn the camera and be like, "Oh, there's so and so." It involves documents and paperwork and payments. So, I don't if that's the case that she was walking back and forth, which is being alleged to try to get noticed by the camera, that I don't think that's how that works. Unless again, France has different filming privacy rules. A studio like that's not going to take the chance. Now, I have heard of, like I say, like you hear big celebs in the area, you ask them to come do a cameo, and they're like, "Cool, great, let's do it." Okay, that can work. I'm sure they're signing things, they're getting paid or charity, whatever is happening. So the reports I hear, if they're true, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense in Megan's twisted logic, but it doesn't make any sense. And I find it particularly funny. Anyway, shout out to Lost Beyond Pluto. Again, I didn't actually see the video. It's kind of the telephone game where somebody told me. So I believe it was their theory. Brilliant theory. I'm not at all knocking them. I'm just saying, like, Megan's crazy if she thinks that's going to work. Okay, continuing on. So they talk about the Zoolander walk and the 10 years thing. Let's keep going here. So she spent the weekend excitedly sharing behind the scenes glimpses of her front row. See, that's even been debated. People are saying, no, 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 it was not front row. It was like weird side spot, something like that. See, now my hair's messy because I haven't it all pinned up like that. But she had a weird side spot. She had a weird spot off to the side and not, they said, they're saying front row, but I don't think it was as glamorous as they're trying to have you believe. I don't know. Um, they talk about she smoothed with industry giants and brushed up on her French and nibbled on fries with her glam squad. Ugh, that Uncle Daniel guy was there. I really cannot with him. I cannot. I went over why on the With Love Meghan. So obnoxious on there. He's been obnoxious on social media. I believe he's come after a couple of the Exiters. I mean, who cares? Whatever. It's not even worth talking about that dude. I knew of him beforehand just because I talk on Patreon. I do have Patreon. I talked on Patreon about this documentary that I saw where they talk about Meghan's wedding Luke and stuff. And what was funny about that is that even the pro Meghan people, because it was very pro Meghan, you don't want to watch it. They all agreed like something was wrong with that wedding look. She looked messy and all, except for that Daniel guy who was like, she looked fabulous. She was a princess, whatever, like all this crap just fawning all over her. And it's like, oh my God, I could not stand that guy back then. And it holds true. So they talk about how her team was telling everybody they proudly stated it marks the first time back in the shows in over a decade. Not exactly. I'm sorry. To quote Joey from Friends, au contraire, mon frere, which seems pretty appropriate for now. All right, but her time in the shows back in 2015 was not in Paris, but in Toronto and New York when she was little known Suits actress. Oh, can you imagine how ticked off she'd be to hear herself called that? She posed alongside DJs and content creators. The riffraff, like myself. So, side note, I've never gone, it's just not my thing, but I actually have, believe it or not, I was invited to, it wasn't a premiere, don't believe me. I'm nobody, I'm not, it's fine. But I was invited to something, and now I can't remember which movie it was. It wasn't Barbie. Was it Barbie? But it wasn't like the main premiere because I'm nobody. It was like a content creator kind of thing. That's what it sounds like she was invited to. And I find that very funny because I was like, no, thanks. Because I'm going to fly out to California, and be like, hey guys, this has nothing to do with my channel. Look at this movie that I'm not allowed to show you clips of. Like, what would I do with that? I couldn't, no. Anyway, but apparently for Meghan, she's like, yeah, I'm there. Anyway, it's just kind of funny. So she was there with DJs and content creators. Okay, sure. She wore Balenciaga knife heels and strutted out. Oh, they're talking about back to Paris. Okay, so 2,210 pounds per night plaza. Oh, that hotel. That's the part I'm actually jealous of. I've talked about that. That is my dream hotel. I'm dying to stay there. I had a lot of you guys chime in the comments saying likewise. Believe me, I'm not pro Meghan. It's not anything like that. Sorry, my hair is such a mess. I keep playing with it. It's not that. It's just that is a gorgeous hotel. I've always admired it, and it is on my bucket list to go to that hotel. So if you guys ever want to do a meet up at that hotel, you let me know. If somebody can swing a room for me, you let me know. Anyway, that is my dream to stay at that hotel sometime. Oh God, it's gorgeous. Anyway, I digress. But they're talking about her Zoolander moves. It was really funny. Oh, here you go. Meghan Markle trying to give Zoolander a run for his supermodel walk. Shall I do a supermodel walk in my wellies? Maybe. All right. Other commenters ridiculed the self-obsessed Meghan for appearing to make this show all about her. Meghan, you're not a model. They're simply just walking you to your seat. It was funny. She took herself very seriously. It was odd. It felt like a combo of self-obsessed let me try that again. It felt like a combo of self-obsessed and zombie. Just this gone. I cannot make the face. I don't know how you kill the life behind your eyes. I can't do it. You guys can't do it. She can do it. I don't know how she does it. It's weird. Here you go. Well, that's even a little more smiley. I don't even like doing it because it feels like mean or something. Anyway, all right. Yeah. So they were talking about her. Oops. Hold on. Her Zoolander walk. Her not being a model. Oh wait, that was a great line. Here you go. Meghan, you're not a model. They're simply walking you to your seat. Meghan walking with her cape like she's the second coming of the Messiah. This marks the first time back to the shows in over a decade. What a load of rubbish. She's never been to Paris Fashion Week. Oh, that's funny. And then here's the last one. It was 10 years ago, but again, it was in Canada. Again, I love my Canadian geese. No disrespect. It is just funny that she was hoping nobody would pick up on that. Some of the comments here are hilarious. I'm embarrassed for her. She's trying way too hard. It almost looks like a parody. Exactly that. Why is she walking like that? I don't know. I don't get it either. Meanwhile, she was also savage for supporting Balenciaga. Of course she was. She's picking up a self-given, allegedly, probably, most likely, in my opinion, seems bought and paid for award for what? Child advocacy, but then sitting at the Balenciaga fashion show. Go back and watch my yesterday video where I really explain why that makes less than no sense. Hypocrite, thy name is Meghan. The luxury brand came in fire. Yeah, we know about that. All right, let's keep going. But a lot of people are saying, miss all about the children showing up at a Balenciaga show. How gross. Exactly. She's also condemned for her utterly bewildering clip posted to her Instagram story this weekend, which showed her feet resting on the leather seats of the limo. It really was appalling. Horrible, horrible. Tone deaf, awful. But again, I had put out, I was like, I just don't think anything is by accident with her. I think this is very intentional, and all of you guys seem to agree with me, and that most of you guys agreed in the comments saying, yeah, she purposely did this. You think she was doing it to get at Harry and torment him, but also at the rest of the royal family, and that's where I tend to fall as well. But again, the point I made yesterday was, it's not like she was busted doing this. She posted this herself. So she wanted it to be out there. She wanted it to be out there. And there's another point I made, and now I have a visual graphic I can show you. This one right here. Thank you, Daily Mail, for this. You can see the spot from the fashion show to the hotel. It's not far. So her feet did not need, you don't put your feet up in somebody's seat. I'm sorry, you just don't. Your own car, your own rules, whatever. But somebody else's car, you don't do that. But it's not like she was on a 4-hour car ride where, okay, maybe it's still rude, but maybe you could make some sort of allowance. How long did this take? Crazy. And they're talking about how close this is. You can see the site of Diana's tragedy, and just basically the same route. They are similar route, and it's just all so dumb and tone deaf. It really is just horrendous. But they talk about her possibly getting giddy with excitement, so maybe she forgot what she was doing. No, you don't forget. People are saying, please tell me that's not real. She did not actually do that. Oh, she did. She did. It was just every possible horrible thing she could have done. That's what she's done. And then royal commentators are saying that Prince Harry could take a dim view of his wife's posts. I don't understand what on earth she was thinking. Well, she can't have been thinking to share a video which had any connections with the tragic death of Princess of Wales defies belief. Au contraire. Again, I think it was very intentional. She knew what she was doing. Okay, these are my opinions. This is my opinion, my thoughts, because I just want to be clear about this. In my opinion, she is Harry's stalker. In my opinion, she knew everything about him and Princess Diana going into this. In my opinion, she would have known, as the rest of us did, what happened and where. This is not just some lady who had an unfortunate accident. This is one of the world's most famous women. This is your husband's mother. You know what happened. You know what you were doing. You knew that this would get a reaction out of Harry, out of the royal family, and out of the world, but probably not in the way that you expected. I just don't understand. I really don't. And I know it's ludicrous because who could understand? Nobody should be able to understand this way of thinking. You don't do this to your partner. You don't do this to anybody. Even at my worst enemy, I wouldn't do this to. If I knew that Meghan's father I don't want to say father, I'm just saying like somebody had passed away, I wouldn't mock that. I wouldn't put my feet up and be like, this is where Meghan so-and-so, name somebody. I don't want to take anybody. You know what I mean? So-and-so had passed away. This is where her dog passed away. I'm going to stand in the spot where Guy passed away and send a video of it. No, that's horrendous. My brain wouldn't even go there, and neither would most of ours. I can call out all day long Meghan and Harry's both horrible actions, but I'm not a horrible person. I wouldn't do that. And I know neither would you. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm saying neither would you guys. No, nobody in the right mind would. And that's a dog, let alone her husband's mother. It really is crazy. Anyway, I'm yelling. I'm going to let this go here. But before I do, I think it's important that I put back on my very fancy clothing so we can talk about the look, because hello. And I got to get that. Let me take this down. Hold on. I got to get that far off look in my eyes and the gaunt look. Oh, and my fancy purse. What was I thinking? Obviously, my fancy purse that is actually my makeup brushes. See, it's like that Daniel guy came with. No, please don't joke about that. And then I still got like bronzer and face mask stuff all over it, so I actually might be Meghan. No, I could never be Meghan. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. This is gonna do it. I feel like I've slipped into lunacy, so we're gonna leave this here. Oh yeah, I put on the necklace that has extra jewelry to it. It's like a double necklace thing because I think she likes to wear all of her jewelry. I forgot rings though. How dare I? Hold on. Let's see. What could I slap on? She's always wearing 50,000 rings on her left finger. So what all? Oh yeah, I've got all kinds of rings. Here we go. I'll just slap them all. What? This is just totally normal. What? Probably wearing Diana's watch and everything else, too. What? That's totally normal. No. I can't do that. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. I feel completely ridiculous. Let me know your thoughts on all this and what you think of the look and the makeup stains and all. I would say mine's more valuable than hers because mine came with free makeup on it. So there. I love a good deal. All right. Again, I said that. That's going to do it for me. I just feel all discombobulated because this. Oh, yeah. Shall we once again say... See, I would never put my feet up in a car, but I would put it up on my faux fireplace. So this is a fireplace right behind me. In case you don't know, I put together this fireplace because I knew I wanted it on my back wall. I just love this dark academia look and I love blue. So I put it together. I painted it. It actually was beige. And those are some of my lights that I move around. That's why I don't know where to put them. So I just keep them on the floor behind me because you normally can't see them. And then with that, I put in this is one of my favorite things I got. I got it from Amazon, this thing my feet are on. I think it was like $50 from Amazon. And it's actually a little heater. So when it gets cold, I don't have a fireplace in this room. So I can just turn on the little heater if I need it. And it just kind of warms and they glow like they're real fire. It's pretty great. So that's what that's about. See, again, I'm way more less creative than Meghan. So there's that. But I've tried to put my feet up on something weird. So I thought, well, there you go. Now you can see the fire. I put my feet in the fireplace, basically. So, well, it's pretty apropos because they're holding Meghan's feet to the fire. See what I did there? Also, I way overdid the highlighter to be like Meghan's photo. And I just feel like I'm just glowy as shit right now. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so funny. It's so crazy. I just can't get over this look and how proud she is of herself with this look. Oh man, look at me. Oh, see? Yeah. I got the let's see. I don't think I could do that. Look. Hang on. I can do this. I can do this. Hold on. Ready? I can't do it. Okay. Who would want to make this face? Camera caught me? No, it's on purpose. Oh yeah, I scratched back here. So that's what that is. I can't do it. All right, I'm leaving this here. Thank you guys so much for being here. My goodness gracious, I've lost my mind. Can't wait to read your comments on this one. Would you rather wear her dress or my look? Let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna let this go and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back. Hi. I've had more of you guys saying, I realize what you do at the end, and it's your favorite part. Thank you for that. This time I've got Ryan Gosling here. Ryan, what do you think? He likes the look. What do we think? I feel all discombobulated in this one because I was so distracted by this fancy. Oh, well, you know what? If you stayed to the end, I'll show you the goods. By the way, this robe is so old and I got it like super size so I can wrap it around myself like 4 times. So it's giant, but here we go. It's on backwards. What do we think? Looking good. I see I can't even do oh, yeah, more makeup. There we go. Running shorts, why not? And wait for it. Let's get weird. Usually I save this for my OnlyFans. Hold on. All right, I am leaving this here. If you stayed tuned this long, what should we comment? If you had to recreate this look of Meghan's, what would you use? Tell me some of your materials. What materials would you use? Hold on. I'll put it back up on screen so you can see it again. What materials would you use to create this look? Let me know. All right. I'm letting this go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. I really do feel like I've lost my mind in this thing. I feel like I'm wearing a straight jacket. They're coming to take me away, haha, to a happy place where life is beautiful all the time. Something like that. Anyway, bye.